one more time.
Welcome CHS. I'm Brian Galindo.
And I'm Georgie Lozano.
And this is Comfort High News.
Today, we are going to pass you on down to our panel that is currently talking about the topic of 9/11.
Alright. Kaylin, what do you know about 9/11?
I know that on September 11th, 2001, terrorists boarded 4 different planes. One hit the Pentagon, one crashed in a field in Pennsylvania on its way to the White House, and 2 hit the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, causing a huge explosion and fire.
And did you know that the fire was 2 to 3 times hotter than a nuclear reactor and was fueled by the paper within the building?
Wow, can you imagine all that heat and then people were at the very top of the buildings and they had to let themselves fall. It was a 30-second drop.
Could y'all imagine that? Just being there in the tower when it happened? I mean, what kind of decision would you make if you were there?
Well, it would be kind of hard because it's kind of die or die trying to live. Like, if I was in their shoes, I would try to fight because I would think of my family and thinking how, like, should I, like, never seeing any of them again, like, or saying goodbye, so I would fight to try to see them again.
And who here remembers what happened, like, on that day, from your perspective?
All I remember was sitting in front of my TV and watching the smoke come out of the first tower. And then a few minutes later, the second plane hit, and my parents freaked out, and I knew something was wrong.
And we were all pretty young. So now that we're older and we can really understand the gravity of what happened that day, how do you think that's impacted you as human beings, as Americans?
It impacted me kind of bad because seeing all those people dying and trying to get out to survive, to go see their families and stuff, but most people didn't make it out in time because of all the fire and smoke. They died trying.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Were you in the yard with your wife and children, or working on some stage in LA? Did you stand there in shock at the sight of that black smoke rising against that blue sky? Did you shout out in anger and fear for your neighbor, or did you just sit down and cry? Did you weep for the children who lost their dear loved ones, pray for the ones who don't know? Did you rejoice for the people who walked from the rubble and sob for the ones left below? Did you burst out with pride for the red, white, and blue, and the heroes who died just doing what they do? Did you look up to heaven for some kind of answer and look at yourself and what really matters? I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Teaching a class full of innocent children, or driving down some cold interstate? Did you feel guilty cause you're a survivor? In a crowded room, did you feel alone? Did you call up your mother and tell her you loved her? Did you dust off that Bible at home? Did you open your eyes and hope it never happened? Close your eyes and not go to sleep? Did you notice the sunset the first time in ages? Speak to some stranger on the street? Did you lay down at night, think of tomorrow, go out and buy you a gun? Did you turn off that violent old movie you're watching and turn on I Love Lucy reruns? Did you go to a church and hold hands with some strangers, stand in line and give your own blood? Did you just stay home and cling tight to your family? Thank God you had somebody to love. I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. I'm just a singer of simple songs. I'm not a real political man. I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I can tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran. But I know Jesus and I talk to God, and I remember this from when I was young. Faith, hope, and love are some good things He gave us, and the greatest is love. And the greatest is love. And the greatest is love. Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day?
Okay, Jarvis, I just gave my home address to an international terrorist and challenged him to a fight. I want you to cancel all detective work rendering projects and focus all of our resources on defending my house from attack, all right?
Very well, sir. Shall I engage the house party protocol now, then?
Sure, why not?
One more. Go again, one more.
And now presenting highlights from cross country, volleyball, and football.
Was great. There were people, the Kincaid girl was bouncing the ball off the 10-foot line. Big, strong hitters, private schools, lots of recruiting. Great competition. We did take the championship team to 3 sets in pole play, and the second place team to 3 sets in pole play. Everybody's doing great. I think that we are really implementing consistent strategy on offense and defense from the bottom to the top.
They're hitting us in the mouth right now. Hey, one score, one hole feels a lot different. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to make a play and make a difference in this ball game right now? All right?
Comfort Athletic Booster Club.
Come to you. Let's go. Hey, let's change the momentum. Change the momentum. We need to score. Right. That's the way up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Right.
The Comfort vs. Blaco game didn't go as well as planned for the Comfort Bobcats with an Ings score of 42-0. Although the game didn't end in our favor, the Bobcats still kept fighting and played the kind of game we all know they're capable of. Even though they didn't win the game, they still won over our hearts. Meanwhile, the boys are getting ready for Friday's game against Mason, which will hopefully end in Comfort victory. So all you Bobcat fans, be sure to come and cheer on your team. I know we will be.
Let's go. Yeah.
Hello, Comfort Nation. This is Devotion Miles with the news about our cross-country team. Coach Neighbor said that our team is doing great and making lots of improvements. Both boys and girls are winning in their co-ed teams. Keep it up, cross-country.
He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard. Whether it's the beat of the mic, he feels so unlike everybody else, alone. In spite of the fact that some people still think that they know, but no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story. Keep on running, sure Comfort. Click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up.
And that is all we have for today. So keep it classy, Comfort High.
Classic Peanuts.